Welcome, one and all, whoever may be watching this, part 23, Planescape Torment. We are still in the Clerk's Ward. We're never going to get out of here. That's not true, it will happen. I'm just trying to figure out all the bits and pieces that we need to do. Okay, so this heavy dodecahedron about the size of your fists, balled together, seems inexplicably familiar to you. Its texture is cold and smooth, but whether it's metal or stone you cannot tell. A certain almost intangible tension runs over the object, as if it were ready to spring into the air at any moment. Upon closer examination, you realize that each side of the dodecahedron is a plate that can be twisted clockwise or counterclockwise. It appears to be a puzzle box or combination lock. As each of the pentagonal plates has 5 possible positions, the dodecahedron has no less than 244,140,625 settings. It would take every second of the next 77 odd years to hit all the combinations, but then you might just get lucky and stumble into the solution in minutes. As you methodically twist the cold grey facets of the dodecahedron, a strange sensation forms at the base of your skull. Your hand seems to move of their own accord, turning the object and spinning its facets with mechanical precision. You've done this before. You knew the combinations once, and you also become aware that there's a certain danger within the object. Whether it's from simple traps or something less mundane, though, you cannot recall. In moments you have what might be the first 4 sides locked into their proper places. As you begin to twist the 5th side of the dodecahedron, you recall a cunning blade trap that would snap out to lash at the meddler's hands, slashing their wrists and severing fingers. You avoid the trap with the proper number of rotations, certain that you've made progress in the unveiling of the object's secret. Okay, so apparently what happens is to solve each of these puzzles you need an increasing amount of intelligence. I'm not quite sure where I sit on this, but if you get it wrong, you do take damage, but you can keep going. After avoiding the dodecahedron's springing blades, you slowly puzzle out the next series of facet positions. As you start to turn the 9th side of the dodecahedron, you suddenly remember a second trap. Jets of toxic gas that would form a billowing cloud of lethal corrosive vapor around a curious meddler. You circumvent the trap with the correct amount of twists, positive that you have nearly unlocked the dodecahedron. You circumvent the dodecahedron's poisonous gas trap and begin your work on the final facet positions. Just as you're locking the 12th pentagon into place, you recollect a sorceress runes hidden within the dodecahedron that would blast the unwitting holder with bolts of magical lightning. After disarming the trap with the correct number of facet rotations, the dodecahedron clicks and begins to open in your hands. The dodecahedron splits once, twice, and eventually unfolds itself, impossibly into a perfect rectangular tablet the size of a large book. Etched into its surface are a series of bizarre symbols. It looks to be a code or language that you feel should be familiar to you, but it's not. Further examination of the tablet reveals that by twisting the pentagonal facets that are now upon the underside of the tablet, different pages may be displayed across the tablet's face. You finally realize that the dodecahedron is a tome or a journal of some sort. Alright, now we can go visit the linguist. Okay, unfold the dodecahedron to a page with writing on it and ask if he can translate it. He takes the unfolded dodecahedron in his hands and examines it closely. This language is a long dead one, known to virtually no one. I believe my father, a linguist like myself, knew this language and may well have been the only man in Sigil at the time that could understand it. I recognize it from his notes, but I cannot translate it. Do you still have those notes? Finham shakes his head. They'll be of no use to you if you're looking to translate anything. The few actual books he had pertaining to the language disappeared around the time of his murder, I believe. I would very much like to see them just the same. Finham gives an annoyed sigh. I'm not certain where they are just now, and am looking for something else in the moment. My research journal, perhaps when I've recovered it, I could spare the time to find those notes for you. Is this the book?
Updated my journal.
Finham's brows arch. Why, yes it is. He takes it from you, then begins to rummage through his pockets. Here you are then. My father's notes. Square then, are we? Good. I have to look over my notes now, so if you'll excuse me.
The flames grow within me.
Nice. I actually need to sit down with Dakon because I got him to learn a whole bunch of new spells. Not that he can actually... he doesn't have any room for them, but like, he's still got them. Oh, hey. Okay, use. These are the notes of the deceased linguist Finn Adelaide. They are composed of his research into the language of the Uyo, which seems remarkably similar to the writing you found hidden in the dodecahedron puzzle box. Read them carefully.
Updated my journal.
As you read over Finn Adelaide's notes regarding the lost language of the Uyo, there is a throbbing sensation in your temples as a memory begins to surface. Memories of this language. You recall letters, words, phrases, until like a spire wind blowing away the blanket of poisonous smog over the great foundry, the language is once more revealed to you in its entirety. You should be able to read the writing in the dodecahedron now. Okay, unfold and read.
Updated my journal.
The tablet turns out to be a journal of sorts, one kept by some prior incarnation of yourself, it would seem, and not an altogether sane one either. There are only a handful of completely coherent sections. What do you wish to read about? I mean, do we want to go through all of these? The whispers are not the shadows moving. They are speaking, plotting, talking to each other. I can understand some of what they're saying. Ah, okay, so that must be the shadows. The book tells me things, whispers things. It tells me to avoid the ghost girl, avoid her. I don't know her, and she torments me. I wonder if that's Dianara. Oh yes, so that's the ring. Nice, we got that already. Paranoid ranting. I have learned that my life is not my own. I will not allow you to have my life. You will have to pull my life from my broken body if you want it. It's you who will die if I cannot have it, neither will you. You are responsible for this treason of flesh. You will not live to live my life. Okay, cursed tattoos. These are cursed tattoos. Will not leave my skin. I have tried to burn them off my skin. Failed. I try and cloak myself, but I always feel that people are reading my flesh. Reading me like a book. Whenever they look at me, I want to tear their eyes out, pluck them from their sockets and crush them beneath my heel. So that must be the incarnation that we saw in the sensory stone. Dreams about Ravel. Why can't I dream? I used the goblet of Samir to force a waking dream. I saw a hag. She tempted me, threatened me with shadows. I have never seen her, but she came when I dreamt. I must not dream again. I must always be aware I destroyed the goblet. She says she is someone of power and that she will have me, will find me. Get away, hag. Stay far away from me. Leave me in peace. I want nothing to do with you. Huh. Her voice reeked of evil's talons, talons like spiders. They burrowed into my grey matter, and I needed her out of my mind. Out, hag. She was a myth, a fairy tale, who alone challenged the Lady of Pain. How can one fight someone who is a myth? I don't have the weapons. I need weapons that will kill her should she find me. I need a strategy so she cannot defeat me when she comes for me. I must devise and think I shall beat her. Huh. Fear names. Names have power and identity. I think we've read this already. Remain nameless and you shall be safe. Killing in the fest hall. I went to the fest hall looking for a path of my false self in the halls. So glaring was it that those I did not know, the false ones, welcomed me into their confidence, treated me as a friend, showed me my room, attended to my needs. I had to restrain myself from launching out against them. That would have been premature. First I needed to protect my identity. I found one who knew the exclusive language of the Uyo, learned it as I could, and then killed him. Then I went to the sensorium and prepared to end the matter. Soon. Murder of the one who tried to help. There is nothing he can do. Memories are gone, he says, never to return. He says, or lies, and tells me this is what he told me. Lies. He says my mind is weakening from every death. Lies. He sat there, betraying my confidence at every turn. He says that only after 3 more deaths, 3 more lives, will I gain the benefit of keeping my memories. But that I, myself, I will die when I die. Die! How can one be immortal and still die? He could not answer, so he was of no use. I butchered him so that no other incarnation will ever benefit from his uselessness. Okay, we've also seen that somewhere too. Okay, I don't have the number 10. So the ghastly head said, "You have been divided. You are one of many men. One in many men? You bear many names. Each has left their scars on your flesh." Oh yes, no, we have read this too. You are silvered glass that has cracked and the pieces scattered across history. Only one piece is import. Regain that and your life will be yours again. There will be a price. This price will buy you a chance. Without the chance, you are doomed. You have lost that which is never meant to be. Separated from man, your mortality has been stripped from you, lost. It exists, but you must find it before your mind is lost to you as well.
I feel stronger.
Yeah, that's fair. That was a lot. Oh. Now I think after all of that, the linguist can help us again. So you said your father had been murdered. He knew the language though and could teach it? Surely he did and could, were he alive today. My father was said to be a great teacher. Finham sighs sadly. I have his skill with language, but not his patience for others, sadly. Is he interred at the mortuary?
Updated my journal.
Why no, his ashes are kept here. He points to a bronze urn sitting atop a cabinet beside a bouquet of purple flowers. Why? A wry smile crosses Finham's lips. A necroscope, are you? Speak with the dead? He suddenly frowns. I have no wish to speak these things any longer. You'll have to excuse me. I wonder if we can talk to the dead.
I'm gone.
I mean, we can. My party just has to let me get there.
Done.
Oh, Anna!
Aye? Why not?
The ashes seem to stir faintly, as if moved by your breath. A faraway voice whispers up from within the urn. Why have I been summoned to these ashes, cold and grey as the heart of a hag? To answer some questions, spirit. Ask then, so that I might return to my most quiet thoughts. Who are you? I was Finn, a linguist and scholar. I was murdered by a student of mine, murdered so that I could not teach another the language that I taught him. The tongue of the Uyo, it was one of the rarest in the multiverse. I knew none who spoke it, save myself and that one damnable murderous student. Okay.
I'm gone. All right. Updated my journal.
Okay, there's something else we need to talk to him about. But it's just a matter of trying to figure that out. Hold on, bear with me. So apparently there's a way to get a legacy number for the nameless one himself, but I'm missing something, obviously, because it's not coming up as a dialogue option. And I've read the journal like repeatedly just to see if I was missing anything, and yeah, unless there's something we can do about the bronze sphere. Okay, so there's nothing we can do with that yet. Praise be to the all-powerful Google. I've worked out the issue. Show more. You get an 11th option about the legacy. That, I don't think I ever would have clued into that, because normally when you've got dialogue options like this, you can just scroll up and down. I don't think I ever would have clued into the fact that it said show more. Okay, read something about a legacy. A legacy, the note read, forget not to collect your legacy, and a small code scratched inside it, 51AA. A trap, no doubt, set by another of my false selves. I'll see it destroyed, I will. I have questions. What is it that an advocate does? I believe you have a legacy for me. 51AA, I believe. He looks at you in surprise as you name the legacy. That is extremely old. Are you certain? A shocked look comes upon his face. I hope that wasn't one of the ones that was burned. Can you check to see if the legacy still exists? He nods quickly. Oh yes, of course. It will take a moment. Very well, I will wait. Enos returns nodding. Yes, fortunately it was unharmed by the fire. All the articles are safe. Could I actually collect on it? I'm the beneficiary. Of course, sign here and here on the dotted line. There, all right? There we are. That should be the last of the paperwork. Here are all the items that were in the vault. One looks like a foundry receipt, though quite an old one to be sure. Did the deceased have something commissioned at the foundry? I don't really know. Perhaps. I'm beginning to think just about anything is possible. Where is the foundry?
Updated my journal.
It is located in the lower ward. It is past the great gate. Look for a number of guardsmen guards at a gate, and you should be in the right place. Okay, perhaps there's something else you can help me with. I mean... Oh, hold on. Can I get it? Or are we just going to go through the same sort of... Do you know who I am? Okay, perhaps if you got the legacy, it might answer some questions for us both. Okay.
Updated my journal.
All the articles are accounted for. Ines is holding 3 scrolls in his hands. I had no idea she had established a legacy here. He is staring at the items, almost hypnotized. Here you are. If I may I read them, sir? Let me read them first, then I shall decide. Of course, Ines seems broken, but please, I beg you, I have very little left to remember my daughter by. I promise you shall have a chance to look at them. For now, however, there is something else you can help me with. Okay. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff. I am here for this strange chunk of rock. Dianara's legacy. Hooly dooly. Done so much reading. I might leave that for, a healing scroll. Okay. Wow, a kaleidoscope gem. That's just going with all the other things that we've gotten so far. Okay, so we're going to need to identify all of these.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Oh wow, it's an eye. It invokes chromatic orb when held. Oh, and it's the first eye only usable by good creatures. It's the first eye that would actually be helpful in any way, shape, or form. Oh, a wedding ring. Yikes. And a strange stone. Permanent. Ooh, +1 save versus poison. +15 resistance to acid. Interesting. Oh, am I not good? Oh, am I still lawful? Where does it talk about... La 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 la. Where does it talk about my, whatchamacallit? Ah, okay, here we are. Oh, I'm true neutral still. Ooh. Okay. Good to see I'm sort of hanging in that sphere of balance, you know? Oh, they're different things. Hold on, don't we have heart charms? Get that up there. Okay, so I'll read Dianara's legacy and all these bits and pieces in the next video, I think. Just have to remember that. Is that a stiletto? We can drop that. And I need to look into all these charms and actually use them. Not that we've had much in the way of combat recently. It's been a lot of talking, hey?